A grandfather and two young children might sound like easy prey for criminals, but tell that to two suspected burglars with bullet wounds tonight. They were, say police, shot by that grandfather when they tried to break into the Arizona City home where he was watching over his grandkids. Our Mike Watkins joins us live there with details of this story. Mike?
Yes, indeed, Patty, and this is the Arizona City home where it all went down in the wee hours of Sunday morning. Grandfather inside babysitting his two very tiny grandchildren when suddenly he hears a commotion inside his daughter's garage.
You know, in emergency, scary situations like that, you know, you go off instinct and do what you need to do.
Arizona City resident Cynthia Robinette says her family's home and safety were violated early Sunday morning when two young men allegedly broke in and began burglarizing her family's garage. This while Cynthia and her husband were away, and Cynthia's 58-year-old father, John Miller, was at the home babysitting his grandchildren, Cynthia's 2-year-old and her 10-month-old baby.
I had two little babies to take care of, so he did what he felt was necessary to do.
According to Cynthia and the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, happened about 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Grandfather John Miller hears the commotion. He comes outside and then sees a crack underneath the garage door, sees that there are two young men inside, apparently trying to steal the family's quad. He goes out to his truck, he gets his handgun. Suddenly, the young men are coming out of the garage at him, and that's when he begins to fire.
He confronted them, and he saw one of them come at him with an object in his hand, and it was dark, and he shot his .38 caliber handgun revolver and shot both of them.
One of the young men, an 18-year-old named Joseph Jimenez, was only slightly injured, fled the scene only to be picked up later at a nearby hospital. Meanwhile, a 16-year-old by the name of Tomas Mija, seriously wounded. This is the grandfather, John Miller's, call to 911.
And there were some burglars in the garage. I went out to my pickup and got a pistol, and they come flying out of there threatening at me, and so I shot at them, shot twice, and I hit one of them. And he's evidently shot in the back. He's laying here. He's still alive, but he needs medical attention.
I would do the same thing. Yes, I would, because, I mean, this is my stuff.
Neighbors that we spoke to today think that John Miller did the right thing. So does Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babu, who told me today that his office does not plan to file charges against Miller, a grandfather protecting his family's property, himself, and his two young grandchildren.
Bottom line, I'd like to high-five him and give him an award publicly after this concludes.
Now, while the grandfather not facing any charges, Sheriff Babu says the two young men, the 16-year-old and the 18-year-old, will be facing burglary charges when they complete their medical treatment. Said they're also going to see if they're linked to a spat of burglaries that have occurred in this neighborhood in the very recent past. And we hear for John Miller's part from his daughter that he had no interest in talking on camera today. We're going to have more on this story coming up at 6 o'clock in Arizona City. Mike Watkins for 3 TV.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Mike.